Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Guess the Guest. We're on episode 10, and in the last episode, we had a very high level Raxcata versus Raxcata mirror matchup. We had Destroy Call going up against our mystery guest. Destroy Call actually thought it was Invictus, but what happened was that we had a nice little bit of an early skirmish. We had some just high level plays overall, some good cata drops, and also it was a very high level game. I thought it was weird, right? And we'll see if I'm correct. And yes, I am. I'm excellent. So that brings my score up. I really wasn't too surprised to be correct this time around. So it's good to be correct. And yeah, let's hop into today's episode. Let's hop into today's replay. Alright, we're on Ravaged once again, and we're looking at the guest in the top left. In the red is the person the player we're gonna try to figure out who they are. And we'll speed through a little bit of the beginning. Looks like it's just gonna be a house and a house from both sides. Racks opening versus a den opening. Is this gonna be a 2-den? It is. Okay. So, right off the bat, I know I'm not guessing the blue player, but this might be Nigat because he put a build on, or a guide on how to play this build, and he pretty much does it exactly this way, so it might be Nigat playing his 2-den, but we'll see. Our red player is scouting around. So this is a trait, some people like, is he gonna find it? I don't know. This is something that Steven here likes to do a lot. itzJ does it a lot as well. Who else? Nigat does it occasionally. Actually, Nigat doesn't really. So Steve Nieder, itzJ, El Bardo does it sometimes as well, so might be one of those people, but is unable to scout this, and it's just, that flash across might be Destroy Call, but anyways, is going to be able to see this early wolf. I don't know if they caught a glimpse of the other one, but they might have. There's no second raider on the way, which means it's going to be much more difficult. That getting surrounded is pretty bad there as well. A little bit of inattention because they were placing down their castle, it seems like. This raider looks like it's... I would go home with this because there's no way... Like, once you've seen those three, this is going to be the fourth wolf that he saw. He knows that he has to know it's a 2-den. So there's no real reason to put this, send this across the map. I guess the mindset is you want to check to see if it's a 1-den or a 2-den, but like you can check that with the number of wolves you see. Honestly, I do want to criticize our blue player as well. Oh, that goes down. It's unfortunate. Once, like over here, it was like really low. You could send only like 2 wolves and then send the rest across to do damage. But this buys a lot more time for our red player. Additionally, he's going to be supply blocked for a bit, so a little bit unfortunate. A bit too busy, and pulling these workers is ideal. This tower, if it was going to be a tower, I would say you probably wanted to do that a lot earlier. And we'll see what the micro is like. It's a good micro so far. One thing you can do with your workers if you're the red player here is hold position your workers. Ooh, good, pull that micro. Want to pull that one back as well? No, not quite. Want to pull that one? No? Okay. So once you do get outnumbered like around here, you just want to evacuate and wait till the rest of your workers are... Oh, you need to flash that. There you go. You want to fight with everything you want to fight with, right? You don't want to start a fight and then turn into a losing fight and then only fight with like 3 or 4. That's a lot of workers going down. This tower is going to go up, so that might be the saving grace, but at this point, just so many workers are going down. How many workers do we have? 7 versus 10. Some good hold position micro here, so that it doesn't want to be aggroed onto the watchtower. Want to target down workers. Well done. So 5 against 10. Yes, he does have a tower up, but at this point, honestly, it's kind of game over. Yes, well, actually, not quite, because he does have this double castle production. This base could have been a little bit earlier, perhaps. Actually, maybe not. Losing another wolf there is not that good. Let's see how many units have died. 6 wolves for 9 workers. Yeah, I'd say it's definitely an advantage for our blue player, but it isn't exactly over. So, not the best hold from our red player. I feel like the micro could have been a lot better. The the way they reacted could have been a lot better. If like seeing the number of wolves and being like, oh, this has to be a 2-den, instead of sending, and then rather than sending the raider all the way across, I should have just pulled it back home. Yeah, so some things that could have been better. Some good hold position that they tried to do, but with the tower here, it's going to be extremely hard to break unless you get like snakes or something like that. But I think transitioning is the better idea. He also has a wolf over here. Right now, they're just bleeding off units. I think they lost like 2 wolves for nothing. So right now, honestly, you don't want to be building any wolves and just completely macroing up if it were me. You can fight this if they're coming across the map, like if in the open, but you can't fight this in front of the tower. So just posturing and pretending like you're attacking and not building any more wolves and going for a quick third is what I would be doing. You know, if you're ahead, just get further ahead. But I do want to see this. So, you know, I guess ideally this should be safer and somewhere in the middle or like somewhere more behind, so it's less scouted. But yeah. Anyways, our red player is quite behind. Blue player is in a significant advantage, I'd say. And yeah. And we'll see how it goes from here. So what does our red player need to do to make a comeback? In my opinion, there are there are 2 main opportunities that what I would do. First is probably just put down 2 more racks or something like that and go for a huge 2-base all-in type push, expecting the opponent to go for a 3rd or like a greedy 4th or something like that, and trying to punish that. In this case, that probably won't work because they are, you know, continuously pumping out units, which is something, you know, maybe it's like a meta read, but probably not because it's guests. But that's one option. The other option is, you know, try to get a quick third, you know, and try to play a long drawn out game from there on. Yeah, we'll see, but things aren't looking too good for the red player. We do have this. I like this. This is Raider going across the map, sneaking by, trying to get some scouting. Well, ideally wants to check the 3rd, ideally wants to check the other 3rd, and then maybe check for dragons or anything like that. We have a 3rd den coming up for our blue player. Yeah, it seems like they're content on just containing their opponent. I would like to see this a bit more closer up, like right here, so you can spot any move outs. Ideally, you would have been able to spot the Raider going across the map as well. Yeah. So we have Wolf Snake. Wolf Snake feels like, oh, I want to kind of like kill him because I already did a whole bunch of damage kind of vibe. This is actually, in my opinion, one way to actually lose. If you have this huge lead and you're not taking advantage of it with a 3rd or like upgrades or anything like that, or like dragons, some sort of tech. If you decide to, you know, march inside and take an unfavorable fight with the watchtower, that might be just the way to lose and throw away your advantage. But yeah, it looks like they're gonna posture to take a 3rd. This Raider ideally should have went back over here to keep an eye on that, but I don't fault them too much for that. We do have a fortress on the way. Okay, for our Rax player rather than our Beast player, as well as a forge. Okay, will our Beast player be able to scout that? Probably not. Maybe they might be thinking, oh, I'm way too far ahead, you know, this is why they're not taking a 3rd. Yeah, I would like to see our Beast player spread out some units, like one over here to check out for any drops or something like that. Like permanently keep one over here as well. Where did that Raider go? Did it die? No, it's over here. Okay, it's just harassing. I like that. Gets a worker kill for its troubles. This snake could come back and defend, but anyways, we have attack. Oh, sorry, I missed that. We had a bit of an attack into the natural. Yeah, like I said, that's something you really don't want to be doing. Oh no, I don't think this is going to work out very well, especially with the whole position micro, perhaps. You have some 2 snakes in the back not doing much. These snakes need to get closer. Only the first row is really attacking. And yeah, that was not an ideal fight for our blue player. It's not over yet, I'd say, but things are looking a lot more dire. Hasn't been able to scout the fortress. Did get a third, but that's not as early as it really could be, and the resource loss should be mostly evened up. This fight, however, is something that you could take. It could have been a lot better if you weren't bleeding out a whole bunch of units. And I feel like the snakes, there are a bit too much snakes. Ideally, you want it so that your wolves tank for all the damage, and your snakes do all the damage. So ideally, like once the fight is over, you only lose wolves, and you don't lose any of the snakes. That's like the ideal situation. Right now, you made a few snakes, so once the wolves die, all your snakes are really weak, as in like low HP, and therefore they're easily picked off. Also, I want to point out that the upgrade situation is going to be tipping into our red players' side. We have armor first rather than attack, and I think that's a good idea, especially because if you see Wolf Snake, just that armor is going to stack up really fast because of the quick attack speed of the snakes and the wolves. So, good decision on that side, but the werewolves are very strong, especially if they're able to encroach on your army and smash your army into pieces. So we're gonna have to see how well these werewolves do. No upgrades yet for our beast player, so something that I would recommend them to get eventually in the near future. Are they aware of this base? Probably not. Oh yeah, no, they are. Okay, it looks like they're just gonna harass, try to do a little bit of damage. This Dragon Slayer still hasn't been scouted, and still gonna, have the potential to do damage in a couple of, about a minute or so is when the dragons start to come out. This fight is pretty good, doing a lot of free damage, well done, losing a couple of snakes, but delaying the mining, and also this is a pretty good trade for the beast player, I feel like. Things are still alright for a beast player. But like once you're playing beast, when your wolves all die, you just want to back out. You don't want to trade out your snakes. Snakes are very fragile. They only have 80 HP, but they do a lot of damage. So, with this werewolf, I guess you could go again. Definitely. Maybe not if they decide not to. But yeah, this these dragons that are gonna come out, the blue player has no answer, nothing that shoots up other than the snakes, and the snakes do less damage against the lying units, so it's gonna be really difficult. This werewolf should have been out at the front, ideally, so that it can tank more damage. Is he gonna back off because of this one dragon? He might have to. I guess with this amount of snakes, you would be able to kill it, actually. This is just, So this werewolf not being at the front lines is a big mistake, in my opinion. If they had it at the front, there'd be a lot more tanking of the damage. Might have been able to get a better smash off on the archers. It's able to take out the dragon, but there seems to be no real answer for the dragons on the way. No towers, no advanced workshop for ballista. Just only pumping out snakes, but snakes aren't a great answer. This is not going well, actually, for our blue player. Red player seems like they're making a bit of a comeback. Well done. And how did this come to happen? Number one, we have a unique tech, so like teching up to dragons, doing damage with them. They should send that across the map. Number two is also this armor. So if you look at the upgrades, we do have +2 armor for the Rax units, which means they're taking 2 less damage from, say, the snake. So rather than taking 7 damage per shot, it's going to be 5 damage, which is a large percentage. Something like, 23%, 26%? I can't do math on stream. My brain doesn't work that way. It's not very good. We have double animal testing labs, so double upgrades coming in the future. This advanced workshop is being started building, but that's a little bit late. But I guess our red player isn't quite pressing the advantage yet. We have 2 dragons coming into the third. At the same time, we have this beast army trying to track down this Rax army. Once again, werewolves in the back, not the best location, but they are trying to slowly make it to the front. I want to see a smash over here. Nice, well done. At the same time, a whole bunch of workers are going down in the third base. Our blue player not responding in time. That is not good. However, this fight is going exceedingly well for our blue player. A bit more micro, move this section of the army around this way would have been better. Huge smash over there with that werewolf as well. And this fight looks like it's going to be won, but the economic damage is insane. That's an entire mineral line, or a gold mine, being destroyed. We do have Ballista on the way, however. These dragons are going to make their way to the natural, try to see what they can do. This fourth base is cancelled. Yeah, things are getting a little bit haywire. We do have one archer here in the middle. Don't know how it got there, but it is there. These dragons still have 11 kills between the two of them. Is our beast player gonna just march in? We have priests on the way. I don't know if priests are exactly the best idea. This werewolf is very low. He could maybe just target that down, especially if he gets trapped. 7 HP? Oh, one more shot would have done it. Actually, 2 more shots because of the regen and the armor. These dragons still doing some damage as much as they can, but the ballista is there to ward them away. These workers are going to this mine, and a handful of beast units will try to do damage there. A little bit of a run by over here, but it looks like hold position is gonna do just fine to take care of that. I would like to see a smash over here. And yeah, these states trying to kick out these dragons, not the best trade. Yes, you really wanted to get the ballista a lot faster. Eventually that ballista is going to be able to clean them up, but these werewolves are falling, the entire beast army is falling. Yeah, things are not looking good for our beast player. Just torn apart by not being prepared for the dragons. This dragon is still alive, still doing more damage, and yeah, things are looking very dire. So yeah, a combination of the upgrade advantage now, which is at 3 armor versus just the none of our beast player, and that's going to be GG. Yeah, so definitely a bit of a comeback for sure. Was down to like 5 workers and was in a poor position, but I guess this is more of a... I want to kind of take this blame, or shift the blame onto our blue player not being aware of the situation they were in. And like, I guess not the best decision making. So like continuing to build units rather than going for a quick third after that initial opening. I think was a bit of a poor decision, bleeding off some wolves over here, not scouting the dragon's lair, and even when they first did see the dragon, the ballista was late, the advanced workshop was late, no towers, losing the entire line of workers here for essentially free. Stuff like that kind of really added up. But credit is due where credit is due. Being very patient with just in general, trying to bait the wolves in and take favorable fights next to your tower. Well done. And then going for something really like unorthodox just to do the surprise factor damage kind of thing. Where I guess if he had played a bit more standard and just went for Rax, it would have been definitely favored for our blue player. So recognizing the situation and going for the dragons is something I want to commend. Also, the correct decision to go for armor against those many snakes. So well done, well done. But yeah, it's time for me to guess. I actually don't have, I don't really know. Rax, what did we have? I'm trying to think. We had 1 raider rather than 2 or 3. And we had an early blink that makes me want to think it's Destroy Call, but Destroy Call plays a little bit better than this in my opinion. What else? What else do we have? We have the Scout too, so that's like a Steven Eater itzJ kind of thing. And then we had dragons. I don't know, man. This is difficult. Priests. Okay, it could be Albardo again. This might be an Albardo kind of play. I think Alberto is a bit more of the priest kind of guy. But then again, they submitted a replay very recently too. Um, yeah, I'm a bit stumped. I would be more comfortable guessing that this is Nigat just because of the 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 placement. Yeah, it might be like Deathstroke either. I don't know. Um, Anything I can get from building placements? Not much. It's just mostly standard stuff. This is difficult. I am gonna say it's Stevenator. I want to say that just because of the worker scout and also very patient play. Actually, Stevenator would have gone for mech. I take that back. It's probably not Stevenator. Maybe it's itzJ. Maybe it's itzJ. Okay, I'm gonna go for itzJ actually. I have seen him go for this sort of two-base Dragon Slayer as a surprise kind of thing. Whereas I haven't seen Steven Eater or anyone else do that, really. Yeah, I'm going to go for itzJ. This is going to be a little... I'm not too confident. It's going to be pretty difficult for me to get it right. But overall, a well-played game. We'll see if I'm correct in the next episode. If you want to submit a replay, there is a link to the forum down below in the description. Feel free to do so. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.